Welcome to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here in studio live with you on this beautiful Saturday. Happy 4th of July to everybody that can hear us and everybody that's at home watching us on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget to jump on there. You can send some comments over, or you can give us a call at 520-790-2040, 520-790-2040 if you have any questions or comments for anybody here in studio today. We have a great lineup. We have Ian of Vera Earl Premium Beef as our guest co-host. Cody Peck, our financial guy, is out for this week, and we also have Addison, his daughter and sidekick today.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
We have Brian of BKW Farms. Thank you for joining us here today. Joshua with Tips and Tricks in the Kitchen. And then for the second half of the show, we'll also have Fiammi's Pizza. And that's Scott. You know, we're keeping with that theme all of June, apparently. But he called me yesterday and said, hey, am I going to be on the show? So we figured it out. But he's outside cooking pizzas up for us right now. Super excited about that. So you got to stay through the whole show. So how are you today, Ian?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's starting to rain a little bit.
I know, it's nice.
It's not 120. That's a win.
It's only 99 right now. And humid, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, you need the humidity to get the rain.
That's fair. Yeah, but my pool is 88 degrees, so I'm hoping that we don't have too terribly much thunder later this afternoon, because I'm going to go sleep inside the pool.
I was going to say, that's bathwater.
Well, yeah, but it's definitely not 100 degrees. And when you get out, even though it's 100 degrees, it's still freezing because everything's evaporating all at once, right? Awesome. Well, Joshua, what tips and tricks do you have for us today?
Well, I got a few different words for you, and I'm going to talk about spices. But before we do that, I just love how we've been doing pizzas lately.
Yes.
Because I have that, like I said, my multi-personality, the Zawfather. So I'm always doing stuff with pizza. So every time I'm in here, try the different pizzas, and I just love it. Especially
I'm blown
some of
away at the amount of pizzas we have in Tucson.
Fiamme, I see them on Sundays at the Rialto Farmers Market, but I've never been. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not going to get pizza yet.
They have a location at Swan and
up there.
Sunrise.
Never up in that area though. That's the problem. Just like, isn't that where the Seared Living is, up that area?
Seared Living's Campbell and Skyline.
Skyline, but yeah,
right next to
area.
Wild Garlic.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I did have a list of things I was going to go through, like talking points, but I was actually just got back from a veterans hike down in Tucson with the Tombstone with the Irreverent Warrior. So I left that at the house. So right now, what I'm going to talk about is like on the fly. And that's one of the cooking terms, like, oh, I need a cheeseburger on the fly. It means I need it like quick, get it out of the kitchen really
all
fast.
day. Right.
So, and another term I was going to talk about is 86. Now, I don't know where that term actually came from. Like, no one actually, I looked into it, I can't actually find it. But the funny thing is, Auguste Escoffier came up with like the cooking method. He has the brigade, their ranking in the kitchen. So because of that, I mean, it was a military term. Now, here's another funny tidbit. The Uniform Code of Military Justice for the United States, Article 86 is AWOL. So it's like, oh, it's gone. So if something
that makes sense.
Yeah, right? So if something's gone in the kitchen, like, 86 on the green onions, because you don't have green onions. Oh, not green onions. Yeah, well, green onions. I was saying green peppers and onions together. But yeah, 86 on something is like, oh, I don't have the cheeseburger anymore. 86 on the cheeseburgers the rest of the night. It's like, it's gone.
Right.
So I always thought that was funny. It's like, I've never found out where 86 was, though.
That sounds about right, because a lot of the terms and really the commercial kitchen came from the Army initially.
And if you think of like 1775 and the Army, when we came to standing, I don't know when the actually UCMJ came up, but did they use the 86 because of that, or was one of the guys like, oh, I used to be a chef and now I'm the general or something, right? Or,
there's actually a really cool show called 6 Degrees. Yeah, it's 6 Degrees, and it's one of my favorite TV show hosts, and he does one where an Army chef brought you football. and he connects everything through the dots and how all of that worked. But
Nice.
Civil War Army, or how they came up with the cookbook and everything else. That's how they. That's how
Nice.
the result of. But
I
anyways,
always think of like 6 degrees as fun as I did a thing in sociology when I was in college, like the different, how everything can connect to somebody, like 6 different degrees. Like what's that, the game 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon? You can name one actor and you can name him by 6 people if he played in a movie with Kevin Bacon. Different ones. All right.
Fair enough. All right. So we have Brian of BKW Farms. Thank you so much for joining us today on the Tucson Tasty Show. BKW Farms is really amazing, and I'm really excited to have you here today. And why don't you tell us about a little bit of what you guys do out there?
Sure. We mainly grow organic grains, and currently we also grow mushrooms in controlled environmental agriculture. And the mushrooms that we produce are blue oyster mushrooms and lion's mane.
There you go. Lion's mane's delicious. Chef Obi actually brought in some lion mane tacos, and wow, I thought it was chicken, but that's a whole nother thing. So tell us a little bit about what sets BKW Farms apart from other farms, and in terms of products that you offer and farming philosophy.
Sure. I mean, our farms really started to try to focus on, direct marketing, especially on the local scale. Ever since 2013, that's when we started doing our organic grain project. And we really wanted to set apart from, I guess, the more traditional agriculture where you grow on, a mega huge scale, you sell it through a third party, and then it leaves your farm and you don't know where it goes to after that. So we really wanted to focus down and market direct into Tucson and the Phoenix areas.
Awesome. So so you do the ancient grain, right?
Yeah, and so we mainly focus on heritage varieties. We do some ancient varieties and also modern varieties as well.
Awesome. So you supply Barrio Bread with their grain?
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
Don?
So Don from Barrio Bread, and he is one of the first partners that we had on this whole endeavor, and he's been a big supporter of us since the beginning. And I mean, if
That's
it really
awesome.
wasn't for Don, then I don't know if it would have taken off.
Have you had the bread from Barrio Bread, Ian?
Yes,
It's delicious, right?
it is.
I love the very great explanation there. Thank you.
Just answering your question.
No, you're good. So how do you ensure the quality and freshness of your products from farm to table, and what measures do you think what it takes to maintain that? Thank you.
Yeah.
If I can get the words out.
So our whole thing is really focusing on a quality product, especially when it comes to the mushroom side. We're very appalled whenever we go to like the grocery store and we see the kind of fresh mushrooms that are kind of just sitting there on the shelf. They don't look great, and they don't look appealing, and that's not what we want to be selling either. So, high quality products is what we really focus on. When we talk about like the whole grain thing, when we hear the feedback from the people that buy it, they really like the consistency year over year, because if the nutrition is changing in the grain, the protein levels are changing in the grain, then that means the baker has to be changing their recipes all the time.
Right.
So if they can get a consistent product all the time, then it really helps them in their operation.
Awesome. So with the sustainable farming practices that you have, it's really important here in Arizona, and I know that Vera Earl is a huge supporter of the sustainable ranching, and one of the reasons why we like partnering with them, because the low impact, right, on the environment, and leaving the land better than when they got there. And Ian can probably talk a little bit more to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a buzzword that I think gets abused a little bit, and like anything that's trendy. And so
That's fair.
What it really takes is the actions, and actions speak a lot louder than words. And so people say sustainability all the time. You really want to drill down and see what they do. I don't know much about sustainable farming per se.
That's fair.
But what practices do you guys like to highlight?
So, I think in our operation, what we try to focus on sustainable wise is definitely irrigation because, most agriculture in Arizona is irrigated. So our entire farm is actually fed from the Central Arizona Project, which is water that comes down from the Colorado River. We actually haven't pumped any groundwater on our farm since the late 90s. So our entire farm's on the CAP water. I know that's, a controversial topic in itself, but, it is considered a renewable supply. And since we're not pumping groundwater, it is saving that for the future. Organic practices, following the USDA guidelines, those are also, considered more sustainable rather than trying to use, synthetic fertilizers or herbicides in the operation. And then, when it comes to actual farming practices, there's the whole no-till, low-till, and we try to incorporate that as best as we can.
What does that mean?
So that really means about how much you work the soil and ground. You want to try to disturb it as less as possible, because you don't want to be destroying that that top organic layer that you're really trying to build up in the soil there.
Oh, okay.
Do you use cover crops?
We have in the past. They seem to work. Some days or some years they do, some years they don't. It really, whenever we do the cover crops, we end up just trying to fight weeds, more and more as the season goes on.
So, working on the at your farms, like what's one of your most memorable, one of your favorite memories that you have of working in there, or something that's like the most rewarding that you think about?
I think it really is about connecting with the community. Ever since we did try to start, doing the whole local thing, we've tried to attend as many community events as we could, kind of pre-COVID. After COVID, we haven't done so many, but those have been more rewarding to me because it actually is, connecting back to the local community, explaining, what farming is, explaining that there is actual local agriculture. It really does pain me when, I say, I'm from BKW Farms, and they say, oh, I didn't know there was farming in Arizona.
Oh, gosh. Yeah,
that really brings a tear to my eye.
Well, I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We're going to be right back after this very short break. Thank you to our amazing sponsors, and that's Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vera Oral Premium Beef, that's Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Arizona Hatters, and Allegra Marketing Print and Mail. I'm your host, Wesley Source. Stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm Wesley Source, your host, and we're here with Ian of Vera Oral Premium Beef, and he's my special guest co-host today, and standing in for Cody Peck. And Cody is a great guy, and he'll be back hopefully next week, if not the following week. But or actually, it'll be the following week. But anyways, we'll be in a very cooler place next weekend. So, Ian, we have a subscription box coming out, and it's the Vera Oral Tasty Show box, right?
We do. We're super excited for it.
I'm really excited for it because it's for the price point. You get 5 pounds of ground beef. You get a surprise special cut for the grill or a roast every month, and it's delivered right to your door as long as it's in the local area. If not, we'll airdrop it in. Maybe no.
Absolutely.
Send it by cloud.
We'll send it by cloud or Air Force. But maybe the Army can drive it out for us. No, but and we got a stamp that we're making for it, which is even cooler.
Yeah.
I don't know if Snora was talking to you about it. She's the operations manager at Vera Oral Premium Beef, right?
Yeah.
And we've got a stamp, and we've got the Vera Orals on the plate. It's perfect.
Yeah, she sent me a picture of it. It looks really neat.
Thank you. That was I had to hand draw that out to get the outline going so that it could actually work. But now I can take my logo and etch it and print it on anything I need to. So
Practice makes perfect.
I am not an artist by any means. It took like 3 hours to outline a plate with 2 blue lines and the course.
Last time I was down there, I was trying to convince them, like, do a car decal with the logo. It's like, oh, your car's been branded.
That's actually a really good idea, like a 3D sticker. Hmm.
I was up there. I was
VE?
trying to get the
Yeah.
T-shirts.
We
It's
we
really
do
soft.
do them on the trucks,
On
like
the,
on all the ranch trucks. There's the VE on it.
And that's Addison, Ian's daughter. And do you brand the trucks themselves?
No,
They
do,
get a
do they fight
sticker.
back?
Sticker.
Do
It's
you
a sticker.
do you
Mike, I'll
lasso
buy
them
that.
in, or
I only put them on the left side, so if somebody, if you pass someone, they can't see it.
oh, okay?
You don't have 1-800, how's my driving? You don't have that. I don't want to take those calls.
Fair enough. I got that. So awesome. So we're here with Brian of BKW Farms. We have Joshua still in the studio, our consultant chef. And we were getting into some of the best practices and sustainability of the farm. And how can somebody get a hold of you if they want to get some of the fresh produce or otherwise? Do you do the vegan night market with Tucson Foodie?
So we don't do, attend any, markets, local markets, farmers markets. We actually do all of our own, direct to consumer.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
So, you can always just visit our website. I think it's bkwazgrown.com, or you can just do a general search for BKW Farms. I think it comes up either way. You can order it all online, and then we deliver it direct to your door.
Oh, wow. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Is there a place that someone can just walk off of the street and pick something up, or is everything you have to order online?
No, you can actually come to the farm and pick it up yourself if
Oh,
you
wow.
want, and then we always give tours if you're available.
There we go.
Yeah.
I love it. We'll have to do a TV show episode out there.
And what's that address?
11600 North Sanders Road, Marana, Arizona, and hopefully your GPS can find it.
Well, they keep changing the roads up there, trying
Yeah.
to go to the pumpkin patch and zigzag through everything.
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's really changed. I had an great uncle that lived out there off of Aber Valley, and we would go out there and there was nothing, and now there's so much out there.
Yeah.
So it's definitely changed. You can get a McDonald's out there.
Oh, yeah.
and I hear there's a Fry's food store coming in there
Yes,
soon.
that's being built.
Gladden Farms area. So that's cool.
I think they're building a Panda Express right now, so
That's
we're gonna live
disappointing.
we're gonna live the
It's-
high life.
It should be an El Charo or Charo Chico
Yeah.
or I don't know, like a million other things. I mean,
Yeah.
we have so many amazing restaurants. Zio Pepe out there would do really well. I mean, right off. Anyways, that's a whole nother discussion. What advice would you give to any aspiring farmers or individuals looking to enter into the agricultural industry based on your own experiences?
Yeah. Beginning farming is tough right now.
Yep.
A lot of established farms right now are multi-generational,
Okay.
and they've been in the family for many years.
Yep.
Trying to access land is always going to be the toughest thing for any beginning farmer, no matter where you go.
Right.
Especially now since land values are so expensive.
Right.
And you're going to definitely be looking at doing some kind of leasing. I'd definitely say if you're really trying to start farming, try to hit some kind of niche market. Don't try to, compete with more of the more mainstream crops, because I think there's just so much competition in there.
Mm-hmm.
Local definitely seems to be the way to go. And I mentioned earlier, controlled environmental agriculture. I mean, you can definitely do that on a small plot of land. It's just keeping or growing stuff indoors and in controlled environments and trying to adapt from there.
Wonderful.
Kind of like Rutabar.
Yeah.
A little controlled environment. I just saw a special on that a while back. It was inside completely dark. People go in there with
Yeah.
little candlelight just to grow
Yeah.
just the rutabar in a little niche there.
What is rutabar for everybody that doesn't know?
Honestly, I don't even know what it really is. It's like a stemmy vegetable kind of thing, I guess, or is it a fruit? I know they make rutabar pie. But they make rutabar pie or jelly, stuff like that.
Rhubarb?
Rhubarb? Is
Yeah.
rhubarb?
It's okay. Different parts of the country.
Don't worry.
You had me
Don't
for-
worry.
for
I also
a loop.
say
They don't grow rhubarb around here.
Brochet.
No, they don't.
But it's brioche. I say it different, like
Understood.
brochet.
Where are you from again?
I grew up in Tennessee.
There it is.
But so my family was actually 4 when we moved to Tennessee from Pittsburgh. But then I also did French in high school. instead of Spanish. Like, if I would have known I was going to live in Arizona, I should have just done Spanish. But over here speaking French and stuff, I'm like, I don't know what everybody else is saying.
My mother-in-law's from my mom is from England, so trust me. I give her more than anything else.
I guess I got that German tongue twister in my head right now. Barber's
Rhubarb. Yeah. But my other grandparents were from Kentucky, so there you go. I got you covered. I was still trying to figure out what you were talking about, but we got there in the end. So, agave is a sustainable crop that's up and coming in Arizona and southern Arizona. Are you looking at doing anything with that kind of crop, or are you going to look at because when Don from Barrio Bread was here, he was talking about how those heritage grains and the ancient grains are actually low water use.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess technically, you know, growing the heritage or ancient grains, especially the stuff that's been here in Arizona, and it's more adapted to the hot climate, hot environment. So it does use less water than the more traditional grains that are grown here. As far as agave, I don't think we're looking at that, but we're always open to trying crazy new ideas. I mean, that's kind of how we got into mushrooms. So,
yeah, mushrooms. That one throws me through a loop. I mean, do you have a cave? Do you dig out something? I mean. Do you have a basement that's weird in Tucson?
Yeah. When we actually started experimenting with mushrooms, we just built like a 10 by 10 plywood box and lined it with trash bags, and so that was our cave. But it's since evolved since then. We actually, when we wanted to scale up production, we actually just took shipping containers and then put all the environmental controls on it. So that even shows you how simple it is to do if you wanted to try something like that. And then we actually moved to now having grow tents inside, like a climate-controlled building.
Awesome. All right, so this is the question that Cody Peck always asks for us, and so I've got to ask it in the last minute here, 2 minutes, sorry. What is one item that you always have to have in your kitchen?
Garlic.
Garlic. Okay, so that's 3 for garlic. And
I think I add garlic like 3 different ways into my dishes.
Fair enough. I do too, so I get it. But we had ginger, we had garlic, we have Parmesan is always something that I have in my. I come from an Italian family, so we have garlic and Parmesan in the house, and tomatoes, canned tomatoes, jarred tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, tomatoes anyway.
You guys try that black garlic?
Ooh.
What's that?
Black garlic?
I haven't tried it at my house, but I've definitely had it, and it's good.
Yeah, I got it. I got a little jar of it. So what it is garlic has been fermented for a while, so it changes colors, gets that darkness to it. Now it's not as like the bitter sharp that you get from fresh garlic, but it's like more of like a nice, robust, smooth flavor.
It's almost earthy, yeah. You get that umi.
Anami.
Yeah, anami flavor. Thank you. Umami. Sorry.
Umami.
My favorite place to get it is actually the udon downtown.
Okay.
Yeah. What? Oban, my bad. See,
Kiwana.
I am all over the place. Sorry. So thank you so much for coming in today to the Tucson Tasty Show, Brian. We'll see you next time you come in. I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll be back with Scott of Fiammi Pizza. Special thank you to our sponsors, Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vero Premium Beef, Mafia Kitchen, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Arizona Hatters, and Allegra Marketing Print and Mail. Stay tasty, Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here having a great episode of the Tucson Tasty Show right before the 4th of July week. Everybody seems to be taking off all week because it's in the middle of the week, but I'm going to be having a pool party. We're making smash burgers with Vero Premium Beef, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you want to get some of that premium beef, all you have to do is go to vepremiumbeef.com, vepremiumbeef.com, and they'll bring it out to your house, which is really cool. You guys are going to be in town next week, right?
We are in town next week.
All right, there you go. Have you ever had, of course you've had a smash burger from Thunder Bacon Burger, because they use your beef exclusively there, so which is really awesome, and it's really tasty. We did the filming there 2 weeks ago, and The ground beef it just speaks for itself. I mean, he doesn't put butter, he doesn't put anything, a little bit of oil, and then he smashes that burger down. It gets a little bit crispy, caramelizes really nicely, and then that goes on. And I think one of my favorite burgers is the Kush with the raspberry chipotle sauce and green chilies. Green chilies speak to me anyways, but we did a what did we call that? Thunder Tasty Burger, the Tasty Burger, and we did the barrel roll premium beef. We did an onion ring, fried onion ring, with mushrooms, a little bit of blue cheese, and to cap it off, we used American cheese, and then barbecue sauce. It was
Sounds good.
that's my kind of burger. And we have Scott from Fiamme's Pizza. How you doing today?
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you for coming in. And have you ever had barrel roll premium beef or Thunder Bacon Burger?
I never have, but it sounds like I need to try.
There we go. Yeah, Chef Lindy's amazing. But we're here about your pizza, and we're staying with the amazing. Got the okay. There we go. We've had pizza on every Saturday this month, so this is the last Saturday of the month, and we saved the best for last. Maybe we had Rocco's in last week, different style pizza. But tell us about your pizza.
So today I just made you guys like a traditional, like classic margarita and marinara, and then I have something I do special every week at the farmers market. It's a focaccia bread, and then it has a little bit of garlic on it as well.
Oh, wonderful. What farmers market?
It's the Rito Park.
Awesome. And when is that?
It's every Sunday during the summertime. It's 8 to noon.
Every Sunday, 8 to noon. I was talking to, doesn't the food bank do something out there too?
I'm not 100% sure.
Fair enough. Yeah, the Arizona Food Bank's doing a fundraiser at the Park Place Mall. They have structures built out of the cans, which is really cool. We got to go out on Monday and check that out. And you can scan to vote, and $1 goes a long way. In fact, they can do 4 meals for $1.
Wow, that's fascinating.
Right?
Yeah.
I was like, I want to shop how you guys shop. How do I do that?
Right.
But yeah, so with your pizza, what was your inspiration behind the pizza? Why did you want to start a pizza place?
I just found passion for pizza, and I really fell in love with the Neapolitan style. That's why I chose to make the margarita and marinara. We offer those half price every Monday as well, so it's a good deal, good day to come try it out if you haven't before. But I really just found my passion from other people who taught me, and I kind of learned and found my own hand for it, basically.
Okay, as a Pizza World champion, what sets you apart at Fiamme's from other people in pizza in Tucson?
I think mostly just the quality of ingredients and the time that it takes to get to the final product. Everybody as a team, as the whole staff, works really hard at what we do, and I think the final product that we put on the table really speaks for itself.
Okay. So can you walk us through the process of making one of your signature pizzas at Fiamme's, from selecting the ingredients to the final presentation?
Well, really, it starts with the main 3 ingredients, like the flour, the tomatoes, and the mozzarella. So first you want to use the quality ingredients, and then the main thing is the process of making the dough. And all the prep that goes into it. So we use a little bit of sourdough starter. It ferments for about 36 to 48 hours usually, before it gets cooked.
Oh wow!
And then we hand stretch the dough, and everything's made in house for the most part.
So it's an overnight dough.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And that's got to be, it grows pretty big. Is that in your walk-in, or do you let it? Is that more warmer?
Well, it's a pretty small place, so we only have reach-in, so we make do with what we have.
Got
basically.
it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Have you ever had an overnight dough with pizza, Ian?
I'm not sure. Tell you the honest God truth.
Yeah, no.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think Down in Sonoyta, there's a pizza place. So, and I think they do an
right,
overnight
right.
dough.
You're talking about Dos Cabezas,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, Dos Cabezas is pretty cool. Have you been out to Dos Cabezas, Scott?
I have not. Mostly just stay in town.
Fair enough. They actually, it's a winery, and they do have a food truck out there, and they kind of help fill the need of food out there because you go out there and there's not a lot of selection. There's some really great restaurants out there, though, and all right, we're gonna leave it there. And but they do wood fire oven as well, but they use some olive wood. It's
nice.
it's definitely different. But what are you primarily using in your mobile one?
Mesquite wood. So at the restaurant and the mobile, we use mesquite wood.
So you got that desert flavor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It burns very hot as well, so it works good for the pizza.
Yes, it does.
Oh yeah.
No, okay, so you got some pizzas here. Why don't we go ahead and dig into those and tell us what you brought in for us today? Because you didn't just bring it in. You rolled up, started your pizza oven, and then started making pizza in the parking lot. So if you want some Fiamme's pizza, come down and get it. Well, he's still here. He's here until 4.
Pizza on wheels. So.
Sweet. So tell us about the different pizzas you got.
So yeah, like I said, I kept it simple for the most part. I made the classic margarita and marinara, that are origin in Naples, Italy.
Mm-hmm.
I brought up scissors to cut it the proper way. It's kind of like a new style in the last 5 to 10 years with the cutting it with the scissors like this.
Okay.
But I like to cut the pizza with scissors personally. So
Interesting.
Why is that?
it keeps the way you can see the gum line on the pizza and the structure of the crust. Sometimes it gets disfigured if you cut it with a pizza cutter.
So it holds up a little bit better with the cut.
Exactly.
Okay.
Mhm.
So it displays better. So wow, this looks amazing. You got to go to the Tasty Show 520 on YouTube and check this out, or you can check us out on the Tucson Tasty Show Facebook page. But look at that. That's amazing. I mean, the structure of the pizza that's a big thing, right? Because that's how you get that chew. Texture is a big part of it.
Exactly. Yeah. I like at Fiamme's I like to call it a Neo Brooklyn style. So I didn't make that one today, but it's kind of a cross between a New York and a Neapolitan. So it comes out a little bit crispier than a Neapolitan pizza would. But that's one of the signatures that we do.
Let's see. We're going in.
Does the mesquite put a different flavor in your dough? Do you feel?
Yes, totally. I've worked with many different kinds of wood, and every kind of wood works a little bit different. So I have it dialed in now to the point where I pretty much know how it works, but every day is different with the wood-fired oven as well. Never know. Sometimes the wood's a lot denser and wet than the day before, so
Right.
that's what keeps the job interesting. Also.
What do you think, Addison?
I have to chew, but it's probably some of the best pizza I've had, honestly. I'm a teenager, so obviously I eat a lot of pizza, and so I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Let's see. Check this out. So tell us about your fresh ingredients. Where do you get your fresh ingredients from?
A lot of the farms are in Yuma, so that's where most of the produce comes from. Other than that, the flour is imported. The flour and tomatoes are imported, and the mozzarella is made by a company called Grande. It's very high quality cheese.
Oh wow! So the cheese is made locally as well?
No, the cheese is it's made in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Okay,
Yes, known for that.
fair enough. Yeah, and that's what Michael Elefante likes to use is Wisconsin cheese. He says that the California cheese turns to plastic when it melts, which I was like, okay. And then we had a discussion about happy cows, but that was you got to watch the TV show next week and hear more about that. It was really interesting commentary.
I think all the cheese that goes into like our burgers and hot dogs also comes from Wisconsin, doesn't it?
Yes.
No, sorry.
No. Good. Yeah.
That's awesome. All right, so let's see. We got more questions for you here. Tell us about the story. I mean, there's got to be. What was the reason that you got into pizza? I mean, what was the inspiration? What's the? You opened up a shop. You have. Are you going to be opening up another shop? What's the driving force behind your brand?
Well, really, I think it was in 2013 when I started the mobile pizza oven. And I used to go to a good amount of the breweries in town and farmers markets. Now I only do the one on Sundays, but I really just wanted to kind of bring that kind of flavor to Tucson, because when I started, there wasn't a whole lot of pizza like this in Tucson.
Okay.
I think Flora and Pizzeria Bianco were the only two in town. So that's kind of what made me want to do it. I lived in LA at the time, and that's where I learned how to make pizza. And the person I learned from, his name is Vito Jacopelli. You can look him up on YouTube also. He has a YouTube channel. Me seeing him be so passionate about pizzas kind of made me want to follow. I didn't know that there was a whole world of pizza out there, that, all kinds of different aspects of it. So once I got introduced to it, I really kind of just fell in love with it and just kept rolling with it. I wanted to move back to Tucson and do my own mobile pizza oven, basically, because there wasn't a whole lot of people doing it at the time.
It still really isn't. I mean, there's a handful, but there's not really a lot of food trucks or otherwise that do pizzas, right?
I think there's a good amount nowadays, but it feels like there's a lot more like this style of pizza, Neapolitan per se, or Neapolitan-ish kind of pizza in town.
So how do you balance the tradition of innovation in your approach to pizza making at Fiamme's, and how would you, how important is it to you to honor the roots of the Neapolitan pizza while exploring creative varieties? Hitting you with the hard questions today.
That's a good question, though, really. I think just trying to get better every day, and I don't always like to. Some people like to put the Neapolitan on a pedestal, and I think at the same time it can be just like a regular old pizza. So I like to think of it as like regular pizza, maybe done right with a little bit of passion and quality ingredients behind it. So at the same time, I can make you a plain cheese pizza or pepperoni. It doesn't always have to be the craziest combination or really long fermentation process. You can simplify it a little.
We're going to learn more about this amazing Neapolitan pizza, Fiamme's, and Scott when we come back from the break. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm Wesley Source, your host of the Tucson Tasty Show. Thank you to our amazing sponsors, Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Vero Premium Beef, Mafia Kitchen, your financial guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona Hatters, and Allegra Marketing and Print and Mail, and Stay Tasty Tucson. Welcome back to the Tucson Tasty Show. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and we're here and we're having another amazing episode. We're chowing down on pizza from Fiamme's. We're grilling. Grilling Scott about his pizza. I can do that one, right? No, grilling. All right, never mind. But do you ever do grilled pizza? Have you ever done a grilled pizza?
I've tried it on the barbecue.
Yeah,
that's pretty close, right?
Traegers are great for the pizzas, and it's because they have that continuous circulation of air and smoke. It's amazing. But anyways, why is everybody looking at me like that? A shameless plug for Traeger. I'll get back to the questions.
The words right out of my mouth.
No, but for an easy bake oven, they're amazing. No, I do love the Traeger, and we make all of our holiday meals on it. In fact, when we did the Thor's Hammer cut from Beer Earl, that amazing bone-in beef shank we put that right in the Traeger, and it did amazing. Now, of course, we seared off the bottom so that all the marrow and everything would stay in there, and it's self-basted. It was incredible.
Cool.
Yeah. All right, and I completely screwed up the all the video from it, but we'll get that out eventually. So Scott, tell me what you have coming up next. I mean, are you going to be opening up anything new? Are you just going to keep plugging away? You have a new pizza flavor you're coming out with?
No plans for expanding or opening a second location. I kind of like it being small the way it is. I think that's what makes it important for the quality as well. Just to have everything dialed in, and having a small place, keeps the quality. It's easier to manage that way. So I like having it small, and doing a lot of catering during the wintertime, privately, and at the public events as well. So
How can somebody get a hold of you to get that?
oh, you can call our restaurant, and we'll set you up, and we can see if it's open on our calendar, and get any kind of event booked, or we do weddings, graduation parties, any kind of party you could think of.
And you can call them at 520-529-5777. Again, that number is 520-529-5777. Or go to fiammepizza.com or Tucson.com, right?
Yep.
All right. Was that good enough?
Yeah, it was excellent.
All right. So, what do you hope guests take away from their dining experiences at Fiamme's? And what is your favorite pizza to make?
One thing that maybe take away is maybe they have something they haven't had before, or had something that tastes unique that's a little bit different than other pizza places. I think my favorite pizza, I wouldn't say one like in particular, but the grandma pizza that we have at the pizzeria, that's kind of like the signature for the restaurant. It's a little bit different. It's like my own take on a grandma style pizza. So if you'd ordered something like that, or
What's on it?
the grandma pizza, it's gonna have garlic. The sauce is a little bit sweeter, and then after it comes out of the oven, it has a fresh ricotta, Parmigiano Reggiano, and basil. So I added the ricotta, and then the Parmigiano Reggiano at the end. So that's one thing that kind of makes it different from other grandma pizzas, and it's something that you can only get at our place, and it might be, that's something that people could take away from Fiamme's. Basically, is that to have something that you haven't had before, or something that's unique.
Awesome. Do you have questions?
This is great pizza. Oh my gosh. I watched my daughter devour a ton of it. We're supposed to go out to dinner tonight.
Where are you guys going out to dinner today?
We are going to go to Jonathan's Court.
Oh, there you go. The Cork Tucson.
Cork Tucson now.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's the Cork Tucson now. That's Glenn and Sally over there. They've been on the show. They came in and they set up a 5-star setup for the Tasty Bites. It was pretty cool.
Well, very cool. Yeah, they just came on board.
They did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
That's pretty cool. We're excited.
That's awesome. So you got to tell me how that goes, and what you got out there, and we'll get that posted out.
Yeah.
So you're from Tucson originally, Scott?
Yes, from Tucson, born and raised.
Where'd you go to school?
I graduated at Mountain View,
Mm-hmm.
and I did go to Pima for a while. I played on the basketball team there too.
That's awesome. So you're a Tucson original. You're making amazing Napoleon, or I can't say it all of a sudden, Neapolitan pizza, and that's producer Tina in the background correcting me. So in the last couple minutes that we have, I wanted to bring up the the subscription box that Viral and the Tucson Tasty Show are rolling out next month. And you can go to thetastyshow.com. We have a link through directly to Vera Earl. You can also go to vepremiumbeef.com and get signed up for those boxes. Why are you so excited about these boxes? Other than getting more beef in more local Tucsonans' hands.
You know, it's something different. We've never done it before. We've never.
I appreciate that. Feelings mutual. Well, I appreciate that. It's a collaboration, completely collaboration. You're doing most of the heavy lifting. We're just gonna push it out as much as possible. But I know I got family in Chicago that are biting at the bit. So hopefully they get signed up in the first week or so, and we'll start shipping boxes directly to Chicago. And that's where the beef snacks are made as well, which is. Oh wow! There you go. There it is. Beautiful. Huh? Fair enough. So, thank you so much for joining us here on the Tucson Tasty Show. We'll see you next week and every week, Saturdays from 3 to 4. If you have questions or if you want to learn more or stay up to date, go to thetastyshow.com and check out what we got going on there. We also do Coffee with the Tasty Show every Friday, and that's a pop-up at a local coffee shop. Thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you next week, like I said. But thank you to our amazing guests and sponsors. That's Ian of Viral Premium Beef, Addison, Brian of BKW Farms, and Scott, Kiki Rogers of Country Financial Insurance, Viral Premium Beef, Novus Vita, Mafia Kitchen, Your Financial Guy, Cody Peck, Network Outdoors, Local First Arizona, Arizona Hatters, Allegra Print Marketing and Mail. I'm your host, Wesley Source, and always stay tasty, Tucson.